Hi, everybody. It's Isaac here. I'm sitting in my living room, watching the baby monitor and desperately wishing my children would go to sleep. Apologies if you can hear them goofing off in the background. The show that feels like it was just nothing but behind the scenes anecdotes was Noises Off. Partly because the show is a big behind the scenes anecdote, but there was a point in rehearsal where that show was so physical and so just enormously, it was just like running a marathon. Every time you ran, like to even run an act of that show was like getting ready to run a marathon. So we would try to do these warm-up games to keep ourselves like warmed up and injury free. And so we played this one game which is legendary now in our company, called Predator Prey, and it's just involves a lot of running around and hiding and diving, and it's one of those games where you can easily get carried away and sacrifice yourself. And there was a rehearsal where Karen Trumbo and Maureen Porter were both headed in the exact same direction. Well, they were headed in opposite directions, but to the same point in the rehearsal room. And they were like flying at top speed, and they could just like literally bash their heads together. In classic Noises Off fashion, they just both sort of shook it off and like went on with the game. But I'll just never forget like that moment being so emblematic of that entire rehearsal process, which was just like, it was almost like being in practice for a football team or something like that. That show took it out of you. I think that oftentimes I get uncomfortable in the pause or in the silence, of not working. And very recently, my wife and I had our first children, twins. And so I have spent not just this quarantine time, but even the year and a half prior to it, in more of a pause than I've been in a long, long time. It's made me really appreciate and crystallize like what I want to be working on and how I want to work, and that is married with this moment of great social change, the call for anti-racism and social justice, the call for greater representation in our politics, for increased access to healthcare, and I mean all of the things, the social movements that are occurring right now in our country. It's helped me recognize where I feel like my work should interface with this historical moment, and that's really exciting. It's just given me a new sense of purpose, but it's real frustrating to not be able to make that work right now. So I'm eager to get back to y'all. I'm eager to share space with you again, and I'm sure now, more so now than I ever have been, that this is my life's work, that making theater is my life's work, by hook or by crook.